ever since the Russians occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which was on the 7th day of the war last year, there's been huge concerns from nuclear experts all over the world, really. But that has really ramped up in the last couple of days. President Zelensky revealed that a number of foreign objects had appeared on the roof of 2 of the 6 reactors there. Ukrainian military intelligence fear they are explosive devices and may have been placed there to stage a false flag operation whereby an explosion will take place, and Russia will then blame that on Ukraine in a bid to distract from Ukraine's counteroffensive in that region. No one can quite believe that even Vladimir Putin would stage an attack which would trigger a major disaster. But of course, anything of this nature is bound to destabilize the plant, which has faced a string of problems since the Russians occupied it. The experts, the government nuclear experts who control the Chernobyl exclusion zone, who were obviously Ukraine's top people in this area, they previously suggested that a major disaster in Zaporizhzhia could completely outshine anything that happened in Chernobyl. There's talk of the plans in place mean that 300,000 people would be evacuated for the immediate area, but an exclusion zone 10 times the size of the Chernobyl exclusion zone would have to be implemented, and up to 2 million people would eventually have to be relocated, and it would leave the immediate area basically uninhabitable for an estimated 100,000 years, which these figures are hard for anyone to comprehend, but it just underlines the size of what could happen. Today we've been down to the city of Zaporizhzhia, which is a few miles down the Dnipro River from the plant itself, and also to a small village called Zaporizhzhia, which is not very far at all from the nuclear power plant. The people there, there's a strange mixture. They're both kind of terrified and quite calm in the same breath, really. They can't quite believe that Putin would do something like that, but equally they do have come to the realization that he's kind of capable of anything. And they've told us today about some of their plans they have in place. Many people have bags packed, ready to go at a moment's notice. They have food parcels ready to go. They've cooked meals which are half prepared, and they package them up so they can warm them up or cook them wherever they can go. But equally in the villages where people are maybe less well off, in the rural agricultural areas, a lot of people have told us they don't have cars, they don't have anywhere to go. They shrug and they say, where would we go? And they're kind of exhausted and sick of having to move around to try and get to safe areas. And a couple of people did tell us today that they don't have any intention of leaving, that whatever happens, they will kind of deal with it in the best way they can. But the local authorities, the government, they do have plans in place. There was a radiation exercise just last week where thousands of soldiers and government officials and medical personnel conducted an exercise across a 50-kilometer zone to plan what would happen if the worst case scenario occurred.